am a mother. I am a physician, and I have a flag. And tonight, I defy Trump and his authoritarian project by standing in joyful, radical, peaceful resistance with the Portland Frog Brigade.
Al Green, if you can hear me, I'm so in. Come on. Here it keep it going. Whatever you. Whoo. It's all right with me.
So I now want to discuss some of the alternative protest events that Democrats held in response to the State of the Union, because this was exactly the unmitigated disaster that you would expect. As we told you yesterday, many of the congressional Democrats who were boycotting the speech tonight, which is why there were so many empty seats, were planning to attend this event called the People's State of the Union, which is basically a counter rally outside. Many noted it mimicked the concept of the Turning Point halftime show, which Democrats saw was heavily successful. Except in this case, Democrats faced an existential problem. Nobody showed up or really cared, which I know is very shocking to find out, that people don't care to listen to absolute rock stars like Adam Schiff, Pramila Jayapal, and Joy Reid, but that's exactly what happened. But it doesn't stop there, because we also got, for example, the official Democrat Party response coming from Governor Abigail Spanberger of Virginia, who spoke endlessly about affordability, while she is, of course, trying to raise every major tax in her state. But, you know, that's what Democrats mean when they say affordability. Let's make things less affordable. And we even have yet another progressive counter to the State of the Union, featuring a bunch of maniacs screaming in frog costumes. And no, I am not making that up. You know, as I said, Democrats had one big project tonight. Try to show the American people that you are relatively normal, right? That's all you got to do. Don't let Trump paint you as some radical, crazy, insane idiot. And they couldn't do that even inside the speech. But if that wasn't enough, even outside on the Capitol steps at various different response events, same exact story. Democrats, in their big shining spotlight moment, once again remind Americans who they actually are. So let's tell you about this here today. Let's show you the absolute flop that was the People's State of the Union and many more. First, though, do us a favor. If you enjoy our content, make sure you hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We greatly appreciate the support, but it also ensures that you can stay up to date with all of the latest news and coverage. And that said, I guess let us begin by begging the question, how exactly could Americans not want to listen to Joy Reid? What a shock, right? I mean, she's just so relevant. She's so culturally powerful.
One note, we just want to do sort of one housekeeping note. Attention all MAGA trolls. And with apologies to the pastor who gave the invocation, your bullshit is not welcome here. And to paraphrase one of my favorite actors in the world, Robert De Niro, I'm going to slightly paraphrase him. Fuck y'all.
I mean, seriously, doesn't this event just look so electric? I can't imagine why nobody showed up. And here's the thing I pointed out even before this happened, because I knew how this was going to go. When you look at a roster that, first of all, if you're going to do a counter-Democrat event, you would think, hey, invite your leading party members, right? Invite the 2028 front-running ticket. People like Gavin Newsom, AOC, maybe even throw in a Tim Walz if he is still credible in the party, which I honestly think he is. But instead, it turns out that those people didn't want to come. They wanted to avoid the embarrassment. They didn't get involved. And so what you ended up with was the total B team, maybe even C team of the Democrat Party, right? Nobody cares to listen to Adam Schiff, Senator Ed Markey, a bunch of random no-name senators and representatives. And to the extent to which that will happen, people will just remember, oh, this is the very Democrat Party that was listing at a 20% approval rating, right? This is the very reason why congressional Democrats are so widely disliked even among members of their own voter bases, because of people like good old Pencil Neck right here.
Between now and November, the president will make every effort to discourage Americans from voting. He will make it harder to register and turn out. He may send ICE agents to polling places to intimidate our citizens. He will cast doubt on the results when his party loses.
He's got to turn the page, by the way.
Our response must be to work harder, organize better, turn out higher than ever before.
Adam Schiff is a totally dull and uninspiring politician. This summarizes why the People's State of the Union was such a failed and uninspiring event. I mean, come on. Are we freaking serious? How is this even real? Who thought this would be a good idea? Who thought this would not just end in a complete and total embarrassment? And you do seem to notice in a lot of the media that the very selective, by the way, small amount of media that Democrats even put out about this, that they're not really panning around to show the crowd, okay? And you can just hear by the minimal amount of cheers and just the space everywhere, it does seem like nobody is at this event. But luckily, thanks to a few reporters that were on the ground, considering the Democrats didn't want to admit this themselves, indeed, it is true. The crowd was minuscule, extremely small. We're talking about probably around less than 50 or so actual Democrat liberal people who showed up to this event at a very large space on the National Mall. So check it out for yourself.
What is the crowd like? Give us a breakdown. What's the average attendee? I just want to know who goes to one of these things. What's it looking like?
So when you say who goes to these types of things, not many. There's probably 75 people in this crowd, and I would say 35 of them are reporters. Yes, and maybe we've seen it in Minneapolis, we've seen it with protests, right when it starts at 9 p.m., they're able to get these droves of people, but as of right now, it's a pretty slim turnout.
Change that. We have to meet the moment with bold policies that level the playing field and deliver justice no matter how much money you have to your name. That's why earlier today, I announced that I'll be introducing articles of impeachment against Pam Bondi. Trump's DOJ continues to obstruct justice and refusing to comply with our subpoena to release the full, unredacted Epstein files. Bondi must be held accountable for that.
Joy Reid, you suck! You're a loser! MSNBC fired you because you're a loser! You suck! America first, you can't even get a sizable crowd! No one's here! It's empty! It's empty! You're all mentally ill! You're simping for a criminal! He is a criminal! He is a criminal!
No, hey, just listen.
He is a, yes?
Stop. You know who are you? Stop.
What?
Stop.
What do you mean, do I know who you are?
Act like an adult.
Why are you simping for illegal criminals?
No, why are you distracting?
Because I think you guys are losers.
I think you are scum. Why are you here? This is not your event.
Okay, it's a free country, isn't it?
Wait, but why is it not her event? I thought this is called the People's State of the Union. And by the way, nobody's illegal on stolen land. You don't believe in borders. So why exactly can't someone uninvited come to your political event? Oh, they can come into your country that way? But no, we draw the line at the No Kings protests, where, by the way, she's helping to fill the crowd here because, as you can clearly see, nobody is there. From all the different videos we are watching, it appears that there's about one line of people, maybe, not even a full line, one line of people, maybe 15 to 30, and then behind that is a bunch of press cameras, and multiple people in that crowd appear to be right-wing trolls there to mess around. So what is the actual count of leftists here? It's truly pathetic when you also further consider the number of congressional representatives who are actually speaking at this, and we know how the paid protesting and astroturfing thing often works. Very likely their congressional interns, their staffers are probably filling some of this area, which is to all say, okay, at the end of it, how many actual supporting leftists came to the event? We're talking 5, maybe 10? Where you have multiple top members of Democrat congressional leadership in attendance? Yeah, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. At that point, you might as well throw in the towel and not stage the event. But, no wonder why Gavin Newsom was too embarrassed to show up. AOC was boycotting tonight. She didn't care to be there. Even Jasmine Crockett, even the people with any actual clout in the party said, no, I don't want to be involved in this absolute nonsense. But apparently, you're already seeing, hey, there's no energy. The whole event is dead. They did try to spice it up at this one moment where allegedly what they're saying is that a Trump supporter tried to storm onto the stage and do a little clown circus, but I have to say I have my questions just watching this video as whether or not that actually happened. But take a look and maybe you'll ask the same questions as me.
Order! I stuck in the border. Go Trump! Go Trump! Hey, Murphy, thanks, man. Thursday is here to live.
Well, I'm not exactly sure why they would kick that guy out, considering they just lost about half their audience. But look, I'm not saying definitively whether this was staged or not, because I don't know who this guy is. Maybe he really was just there to troll. But I do have to say, it does kind of read as a ridiculous liberal caricature, you know what I mean, of what they think MAGA supporters are and what they would tell the actor to do. Because what was that? He just comes on the stage and is like, yeah, go Trump, and then scurries off and gets escorted away. I mean, are we sure that wasn't done intentionally because their protest organizers are thinking to themselves, wow, this thing is really dead. We need to have some type of moment. Oh, let's make Trump supporters look bad by having one run on the stage and then immediately run off. Of course, coming at the time when this year, as we talked about, Democrats are attempting to make themselves look less foolish than the protest antics of last time. So what better strategy would it be to be like, oh, look, see, the right-wingers act no better than us. Except even in that case, I would point out, okay, so I'm not avowing the behavior, by the way. I'm not telling you anyone out there to go storm onto some random stage. But notice how he says about 2 words, makes his point, and then immediately leaves. Whereas when leftists do this type of protest, because they, of course, love blocking roads, interrupting hearings, shouting in the middle of speeches, doing all this stuff, they usually don't leave for about, say, 30 minutes, sometimes even 30 days. The Trump supporter leaves right away. I frankly find that part to be funny. But anyways, there you have it. Arguably the most entertaining part of the entire event, which is when this potentially actor or not just runs on the stage and says, yay, Trump, and then leaves. That said, though, it doesn't stop, because I also want to show you what this left-wing group called Defiance tried to hold as a counter to the State of the Union speech. They named this event State of the Swamp, which is, of course, hilarious because leftists can never come up with their own things. They always have to copy terminology made by the right wing. But even then, well, I don't even know how to describe this. So just take a look at what this left-wing counter event was.
I'm a mother. I am a physician, and I have a flag. And I am the proud representative for Oregon's 3rd Congressional District. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And tonight, I defy Trump and his authoritarian project by standing in joyful, radical, peaceful resistance with the Portland Frog Brigade!
As I said, all Democrats had to do tonight was try to act relatively normal, and they weren't even capable of that for about 30 seconds, right? All you had to do was, given maybe you could argue the political momentum the last couple months is on their side, all you have to do is keep on riding it by not showing Americans that you're a bunch of insane, woke hippies, cartoon characters, freaks, radical people, off-putting, out-of-touch weirdos. And somehow, in the span of about 30 seconds, you manage to fulfill all of those check marks. Okay? I mean, I think the Democrat Party is actually allergic to being normal. And you might say, oh, whoa, what do you mean? They're having fun. They're being cheerful. Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. The party of cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo definitely doesn't look cuckoo with the Portland Frog Brigade or whatever this is. By the way, is this part of the new furry movement? You know, what are they called? The Therians or whatever? Is that what we're watching? Yeah, Democrats are going to fully embrace this already? Not exactly sure. But, okay. Well, there you have it, guys. That is the official Democrat response to the State of the Union. Let me know what you think, okay? Were you compelled by the message? Did you find Adam Schiff's pencil neck or Joy Reid singing or this cast of frogs to be compelling? Let me know. Let me know. I mean, we heard a whole, 2-hour speech from Trump. He hits on a lot of key points, economy, immigration, foreign policy, all those things. But hey, you know, the Democrats brought the frog brigade. What are we going to do about this? You know that frogs are amphibians, which means they can go in both the land and the water? Checkmate, Trump. Yeah. Just we can't come back from this. Okay. Do you know frogs like breathe through their back or something? Actually, is that even true? I don't know. But okay, that said, let me know your thoughts. Be sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And until next time, God bless and peace.